Disney characters over there in Reutlingen, Germany. We out here on the main drag, just touring in town. They have the little Christmas market going on. You know, pretty much a lot, not all the towns, but a lot of the little towns have little Christmas markets going on. They have little stands for you to, you could buy bratwurst and different type foods that's unique to the area here. But it's pretty cool. We check out. We're gonna check out a few more. We done been to about 4 or 5 since we've been here in Germany. Yeah, boy, it's wow. You get to hear a lot of different type languages. I can understand more German than I speak, but you hear a lot of people here speaking English. In a lot of European countries, English is the fallback to language. When there is a problem communicating in the local language, then everybody fall back to English. Yeah, pretty cool. These European countries, a lot of them have open borders, so you can just drive on to the next country. And Germany is, of course, is really westernized, so it's pretty laid back. I like coming over here. In the military, I was stationed here for a total of 11 years in different cities in the country. But I tell you, man, eating this European food, boy, it's on point. And it don't have all that nutrients that's not good for you within it, like we do in America. But I'm not here to bash the homeland. Just tell you some of the differences in what other countries have. When you haven't, been outside the United States, you go to other places and broaden your horizon and, get to see a lot of things that you normally wouldn't get the opportunity to see and do. What was amazing to me, I done been to a lot of places where I studied in school, about things in a book. And you get the opportunity to actually go there and see it live. That's amazing. Last week we was in Berlin. I went to Checkpoint Charlie and over into the eastern sector of Berlin, which used to be, I guess, owned by Russia. But that was very entertaining. I went to Hitler's bunker, at least where Hitler's bunker was, but they destroyed it, and they got signs and stuff like that, letting you know what it was about and all that kind of stuff. But they blew all that up, which was a good thing because of what it stood for. But Berlin was really nice, and it's cold over here, don't get me wrong. But man, Berlin was extremely cold. You got to be bundled up. But my little niece, she had us all over the place, riding the public transportation. And that was good. It was really good. It took us like about 5 hours to get from Stuttgart Hauptbahnhof to Berlin. I was amazed at how fast it took us to drive in a car from Stuttgart to Mannheim, but then it only took 35 minutes to do that on the train. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, look at that Derner kebab. They sliced that up and put it on a brooch. And let me see if I can find a picture of how they serve that. If you've never seen a kebab, oh, they don't have no picture of it. Not there. And Germany is the only place that I've seen people eat French fries, whereas they call French fries pommes frites with mayonnaise. Yeah, let me see here. That's a burger right there. Yes, this is what a Derner kebab look like. They have that bread. It's like a little pouch, and they put that sliced meat up in there, you know, and it's on point from there. It's on and popping. Or you can get your gyros on a plate like that, just meat and French fries, Coke. Keep you get it in a wrap. Yeah, that looks good right there. That Derner kebab. €7.50. That's probably about $8. Give or take a few cents. Oh man, get out of the way. That car coming pretty fast. And man, you got hair salons and barbershops all over this place. This little town here is called Reutlingen, and it's saturated with those type businesses. Nobody here should have a grooming problem when it comes to hair, cutting hair, and women going to the hair salon. Yeah, it's starting to sprinkle rain, so I'm trying to get back over here to the hotel. Yep, we're going on across. But it's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Nobody bother you. We'll stay on the sidewalk. This little park right here, you have the dusty people who, you know, just hanging out, don't want to work, just hang out. This is where they hang out at all night long. You can walk by here and see somebody. That building straight ahead right there, it's the Reutlingen Hauptbahnhof. Let's go in there. I haven't been in there since I've been here this time. The Reutlingen Hauptbahnhof is nothing more than the train station. We go in here. People waiting to catch the train instead of hanging out here at the gate. They come in here and get away from some of that weather. And that's the fare carton. That's where you buy your tickets. Got a little bakery there in the morning time. You can get you some bakery goods. But this is a fairly small train station. You would go from here to Stuttgart, and that's where the Hauptbahnhof is. That is the main train station, and you can actually get the opportunity to, ride the local commuter trains, taxis, or you can catch the ICE, the ICE. We ain't talking about ICE from Homeland Security, but that's the name of the train in Germany. You catch the ICE and you can go from city to city. I rode that. We caught the train here, jumped over to Stuttgart Hauptbahnhof. Then we got on the ICE and went to Berlin. And it's amazing how fast that train was going. It was going 250 kilometers per hour. That's about 150 miles an hour. No train in the States is running like that. But that was crazy. But hey, we was rocking with it. We got on up to Berlin in like about 5 hours or so. And, we was riding the local trains, buses. And when we got ready to come back to Reutlingen, to this little town, we got back on that ICE and came on back another 5 hours. And it was fairly cheap, not that expensive. But I will tell you, Americans, we ain't gonna do right. And also had a lot to do with, being young, gonna test the system. Me and my friends, we go get on the train, because a lot of things over here is done on the honor system. We go get on the train and ride for free, don't buy no ticket. Sometimes you get away with that. But ladies and gentlemen, don't do that. The tickets are not that expensive. Buy a ticket. I get caught. They come on the train and they start checking for tickets. You ain't got no ticket right. Back then it was like 30 marks. Over here now they use the euro. But back then when I done that, they was underneath the Deutschmark currency. And it was like 30 Deutschmarks. And back then 30 Deutschmarks was probably maybe $30. Fine, I had to pay. You go to the Bundespost and you pay your fine. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. Guess what? My butt go and get caught the following weekend. And after that second time, I was like, no, I could have paid that little 2-3 Deutschmark and got me a proper ticket versus now I got to go pay this 30 Deutschmark, D-Mark fine for trying to ride the train free. But you live and learn. When you know better, you do better. And if you ever in this little in Reutlingen, this is the hotel where you need to be. They have a good breakfast in the morning time. The rooms are nice. And they are a family-owned business. And they friends of ours. My wife and them have been friends since they was teenagers. But yeah. You got your choice of what you want to do. What I will say about my friend's hotel, not that expensive. It's not that you will pay to stay in a hotel here in Germany compared to the hotels in the States. It's no comparison. You probably gonna spend between $75 to $150 more in the States than you're gonna pay here in these hotels in Europe.